Hey guys, jumping right in, and it's currently 6:53. Today's wake up time was quite a bit late, but not as late as as my what I would call typical late wake up time. So um, yeah, actually, I want to say my official wake up time is about 6:45. However, between I want to say 5 and 6:45. I really didn't get a chance to get much sleep. It was just me mostly just it was really painful in the beginning, like just getting up at 5, considering that I didn't get a chance to really get in bed until 11. Really good activity levels yesterday, but yeah, I had to do some grocery shopping that I didn't get a chance to do on Friday, and that resulted in me, just doing that. I try to do my evening walk, right? When I have grocery shopping, I try to, yeah, it's really hard to do, right? Like to get in a full, because for me, I think I need like about 75 minutes in the evening if I, or late afternoon if I don't get a chance to do anything in the morning, which was definitely the case yesterday. So, yeah, just looking forward to improving on that end, just sort of saving that grocery shopping for maybe the weekend because that way I don't have to waste. I'll have more time, and that way I can focus during the week on using a 2 hour block. I don't really even need 2 hours. I just give myself 2 hours. I notice that when I do, when I like an hour and a half, versus maybe 2 hours, I can probably get in. Very high likelihood I can get in 30 floors. Probably not reach 8 miles, but get pretty close to it. And also get pretty close to 20,000 steps as well. So yeah, just technically still recovering from last week, right? In terms of time, right? Because that grocery shopping should have been done on Friday, but yeah. Anyway, enough about that. I just want to jump into food activity. Okay, so Uh, tried to increase my calorie intake a little bit yesterday. This was a little unintended, right? I had a slight miscalculation yesterday, and it's mostly due to this item. It's the tofu that I had. So I had that at this place that I get most of my grocery foods from. I actually got this a really long time ago. Uh, by that I mean like maybe 2.5 weeks ago. And I got some new items because I'm actually experimenting with creating my own deodorant. And I just wanted to free up free up a jar. And yes, my tofu does come in a jar. I get most of my grocery items from a very specialized place, and I get everything else, which is like produce, primarily comes from farmers markets. But anyway, yeah, my I get my tofu from a specialized place in a glass jar with a metal lid on it, and I wanted to use that container for my deodorant that I'm going to make. And so I decided, well, I was pretty light in calorie. Like I didn't have 2,500. If you do the math here, it's pretty apparent, right? It was more something along the lines of like 2,200 or whatever. And so I had this, and it ended up being, yeah, coming out, boosting me up to about 2,700. I also got a new sauce that I'm trying to consider. It's tamari sauce, low sodium. I got it from this place as well. This is a new item that I bought. This is old, but this is new. I got this yesterday, and wasn't very good on the tofu. I regret not using some of my salsa sauce that I had yesterday on that. That would have been absolutely amazing. I basically made tofu scramble with turmeric, um, and yeah, that was a huge mess up. Considering the level of sodium, I mean, it didn't taste really good. Like it was pretty horrible. As a matter of fact, I actually regret buying this. Um, I think this is actually meant to be more like a dipping sauce, not really a sauce that you put onto things. Yeah, this was a really huge regret for me. In more ways than one. Little flavor, not much sodium, and tofu absorbs the flavor of pretty much everything. But it's just yeah. I just didn't really have enough time to really cook the tofu scramble in a way that would make it, more like I guess less damp, for the lack of a better term. And so, yeah, just really big regret there. Like salsa, especially like a medium spice salsa on top of the tofu scramble would have been a really amazing, like I guess breakfast food for dinner. Huge mess up there, and I ended up increasing my sodium quite a bit because of that. So lessons learned. I also did have a banana in the afternoon as well as one for breakfast. So that was pretty unique. Um, I'm actually thinking about, in fact, I'm 95% convinced that instead of raisins, I'm going to have a banana. So I noticed that, yeah, like I actually did want to explore a couple of things with you guys here for the first time, as well as with my. Yeah, so just as suspected, not a lot of fiber. Yes, quite a bit of sugar, but not as much fiber as I was expecting. Well, I mean, not expecting, but hoping for. I kind of assumed that there would be a moderate amount. I don't consider this to be a moderate amount, but it is what it is. But I do think that this would be a better alternative to raisins. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, the potassium is something I could definitely get an increase in, and yeah, I mean, raisins are good, but yeah, I just I feel like a banana would be better. It's more filling for me as well, so that really helps. And yeah, since I'm getting so much, I'm eating like basically 2 cans of black beans. I'm not like too concerned about my fiber intake in terms of like just replacing the banana or replacing the raisins with a banana or two instead. You know? Yeah, so feeling also really good about exceeding all of my goals with the exception of miles. Uh, did an amazing job on steps. I did the bare minimum, um, because I wanted to get to bed as soon as possible. In fact, I didn't even get a chance to hit or get my Fitbit watch to vibrate until probably like once I got into my actual like apartment, like into my actual unit. Because I'm pretty good at estimating just how many steps I need in order to get 1,500, and so I just did my incline walk late last night as well. As that probably took up like anywhere between 75 to 80% of my time last night. That's pretty much what all this is. Um, so yeah, didn't get a chance to come back between 11:15 and 11:30 just to top things off. But yeah, that's what all this is. So cool. Yeah. Another thing too is my heart rate is um, steady at 73, which is back to my low point, which is 73. Something else I wanted to go over as well. I decided to weigh myself yesterday, and I think this is a bit of an important update, which is why I think this video is going to go over a little bit. But yeah, getting down from 254. As a matter of fact, I actually would like to go over this separately. So yeah, I actually made a post about this as well, just highlighting just how much of an impact, um, water retention can be, right? So didn't really eat as clean as I should have this past weekend. I made a couple of videos on that. We're moving forward, but history is important, right? And so On the scale, it's 262.2. This is relevant and it should be recorded despite it being water weight because this is still weight that you have to carry uphill, downhill, flat surface, right? And so this is going to contribute to your calorie burn, right? And so it was important to capture this initially. However, I noticed just visually, right? Um, Especially yesterday, that my face was not as puffy as it was. My clothes were fitting just a tiny bit better. And so I assumed, and this, I observed this like around, I want to say late morning, very early afternoon. And so I just thought, yeah, I think I should probably weigh myself again because it feels like I lost a lot of weight, and technically I did, right? I mean, this is substantial. 262 down to 254. This is what, I'll just do quick math here. So yeah, it is a little over 7 pounds. I mean, that is a lot of weight, right? Just think about it. 7 pounds. Like that's a lot. And so yeah, definitely felt obligated to reweigh myself there because I just thought, yeah, this is very important. As a matter of fact, I think this is technically my lightest weight since I started. I didn't notice this until now. Just looking at this graph visually, I thought, wait a minute, I got back to my low point, but technically this is the lowest amount of weight I've ever been. And I'm still positive that a lot of this is still water weight because, you know, what, this is the 13th compared to now, only 10 days ago. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that my weight is closer to 250 than it is 255. Anyway, the numbers are the numbers, right? This is the weight that I'm carrying around, so this is the weight that I'm going to measure myself. But yeah, I mean, just think about it, right? I almost hit, this is the highest I was this month, technically due to water weight, but now it's just measuring myself a few days later, literally just 3 days later, we get the lowest I've weighed since I started recording my videos. In fact, I do believe that this is the lowest. Yeah, I believe this is the lowest I've ever weighed since I've ever had my Fitbit. Oh no, no, I was actually yeah, yeah. This is since what? And this is my original Fitbit back in 2016. So, and I actually had a chance to call my pediatrician actually, not too long ago. Well, relatively while back, right? But I mean, just relative to my childhood, it wasn't that, it was pretty long time ago. But anyway, um, yeah, I called them about, I want to say 2.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, to say, hey, like, how much did I weigh? Pretty much like around 18, because that was the last time sometimes pediatricians, wherever you can still be, with a pediatrician until you're like a couple of months into 18. And so I was basically 265. It was like 265. And so I don't think I weighed that much in high school, but I'm going to go with 265 because I weighed that much in around October of 2013, and I graduated in July, and not much happened. Like, my habits didn't really change that much between that time. So I'm going to say that my graduation weight was 265. However, my lightest in high school was 165. Um, but yeah, yeah, I am lighter than I was, at 18, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is the least amount of weight I've ever weighed, like, since I've recorded it, right? Since my last wait. Yeah, this is pretty exciting. I'm pretty stoked about this. Wow, I can't believe this was 305. That's pretty heavy. Wow. And this does not capture how the most I've ever weighed. I actually weighed, I was much heavier than this at one point in time. I just didn't measure it, or didn't put it inside of my Fitbit. So yeah, super stoked. I'm sorry if I'm spending too much time on this. I'm just really excited that this is the lowest I've weighed since I've recorded myself, not just doing these YouTube videos, but since I've recorded my weight on Fitbit. So super excited, which makes sense. A lot of things that I would wear, like like you guys have seen me wear a purple shirt. It's like a PE shirt I have from like freshman year. I was like, oh wow, like I've been I've had that shirt, you know, all the way from 330 pounds, all the way to now, and I was just like, wow, like this shirt just feels like feels pretty big. Anyway, going back to some of the activities. Yeah, so here's a tweet. I just thought I wanted to spend a couple of seconds on this. So I did basically an unofficial weigh-in, and yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm actually seriously considering this, doing weigh-ins twice a week, so I can get an accurate capture of my weight. Um, So, since I already did one yesterday, today is my resistance day. I did the weighing yesterday, and today's my resistance day. I'm probably not going to do it, but very strongly considering a weigh-in Thursday. In fact, I also it's very unlikely, but I also did consider a 3-day weekend weigh-in, one on Monday, one on Thursday, and like maybe something. I don't know. It just kind of feels weird to do it on days that are not like, I don't know, like ideally it would be Monday, Wednesday, and like maybe Saturday or something. But yeah, I don't know. I did consider 3 days, but more than likely, there's like a 65% chance. More like, yeah, 65% chance I may do two weigh-ins, which would be on Monday and Thursday on my resistance gym days, which is why I got those. Okay, so going back officially to yesterday, something else I don't think I covered was my official wake up time, which was pretty late. It was somewhere in between, one moment, okay. Yeah, somewhere in between 9:15 and 9:30. I guess that's accurate. Um, yeah, so, and then today, just going over my wake up time. So here it is between. That's interesting that it says between 5 and 5:15. Um, which I guess makes sense. I think I did. I probably did put on my Fitbit. I'm not entirely sure what the 6 steps mean. Maybe because I put it on and just went to the restroom or something. But yeah, this is not. I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to cheat. This is not my official wake up time. My official wake up time is closer to 6:45. Here it is captured in that little 15-minute mark there. So yeah, really proud of my activity. Got in floors exactly. It's pretty exciting. When I did the incline, I mean it's pretty interesting, right? I did the incline, and I remember looking at the amount of floors I had, and I had about five, and then no, like I think it was four, and then I did the incline, and once I did it, and I reached the top, I looked at my watch, and I noticed it was actually 28, and then it was like literally like maybe like 5 feet away from just from completing it, and then I was just wondering because one, I'm not gonna go into why I did that, but anyway, yeah, I finished it, and then it's just like, oh, then it said 29. I thought, oh wow, this is amazing, and so that one floor literally came from me walking up the stairs to because I actually live upstairs and my roommate lives downstairs, so that's how I officially reached 30 floors yesterday. Um, and so Yeah, and I already covered my heart rate. Really good stuff there. Hoping this will officially reach 72 by end of week. would be absolutely stoked if this hit 69. Would love to be in the high 60s by the end of this week. So calories in versus calories out. So yeah, very light deficit in my opinion. So 1224, still pretty good. Still exceeded by 1,000. However, I am considering consuming more calories depending on how my workout goes. I did notice that on Monday I got a really good pump. I don't know. I've read and I've watched YouTube videos and stuff on people eating carbs like the day before their workout and just, really getting a good pump. And so, yeah, I didn't really get a chance to see how many carbs I have on a regular basis versus how many carbs I had on Monday because I did have things like bread and stuff like that on Monday because I had like a burger or whatever, right? So I'm just wondering, like, so yeah, it's all experimentation. I just want to know, like, maybe was it because I had a lot of calories that day, or was it because, I had an increase in carbs the day before? And so, yeah, I've just been, reading but mostly watching YouTube videos and mostly YouTube shorts at that on people just, realizing that, once they have quite a bit of carbs, the day before, they have a really good workout. They have a really good, resistance training performance the next day. And so, and I'm wondering if that's the case for me. And so that's why I experimented with a little bit more calories, right? And I noticed, yeah, just trying to see, experiment, see how things go. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know this was a really long video, but I'm pretty excited. I mean, the title of this video is going to definitely focus on me being the lightest that I've ever been since I was a teenage since I was an adult, right? I am the lightest I have been as an adult officially. I'm officially as I am the lightest weight that I've ever been as an adult. And so this is really amazing. I'm super excited about my progress, and I'm looking forward to continued progress, especially on the heart rate and secondary goal. Looking forward to hopefully by Monday I can get this down to 250. That would be absolutely amazing. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, until next time.